Let's open this meeting of the Unionville Historic District and Properties Commission on February 4th, 7:00 p.m. We'll start by approving the January 7, 2021 meeting minutes. Have you all had a chance to read those over? Thank you, Shannon, for doing those.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had a chance. I see nodding heads. Excellent. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes.
A second?
Bob Hoffman seconds it.
Thank you. Any discussion or changes to the minutes?
No, the minutes are beautiful.
They are really
Wow.
Perfection.
Very good.
Woohoo! All right, all in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, I'm not even going to ask for a no after that endorsement. All right, good. All right, our educational meeting, which we're planning for March. I think I told you last time that AJ is ready to go.
Yeah.
AJ De Pellegrini of Air Serv of North Central Connecticut. He's getting his wife to help him put together a PowerPoint. So
good.
I probably, Shannon, shall I just email you the particulars with his name and the name of the company so you could put together something to send out? Or
Yes, yeah, we need to create a flyer. So if the two of us could collaborate on that, something either a half page or 1 page.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have the bandwidth to draft something up. I can see what we've done for the previous one.
Yeah, I could do that. That shouldn't be hard. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll email that to you, Shannon, tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Good.
appreciate it. We're like I said, this item, and maybe it was before you got on. I've got a matter that's with inland wetlands and TPZ. We were at wetlands last night till 11:15, and this is going to cycle right through on me through March. So it's one of the abutters filed an environmental intervenor petition. So.
Oh boy.
So we can take care of the mailings like we always did, but if
Yeah.
you can lend a hand with
Absolutely.
getting the flyer done, that would be a huge help.
Absolutely. I'll take care of that.
Thank you.
So Matt, were you still pursuing Sanford and Hawley?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bob and I did correspond. They're on board to provide. He was checking with his brother. I know we talked about a possible addition of a little history on Sanford and Hawley as well. But they're willing to present on materials as well, and it's our choice.
Oh, great.
Okay.
So that would be for the April, early April meeting. Okay.
Correct. So do a little bit of a mix as long as his brother's available, and do a little bit of a mix of history and materials.
Wonderful.
That's
Good.
great.
Yeah.
That would be fascinating.
Is that a flyer? Shannon, do you want me to do a flyer for that a little bit later, or do you want me to incorporate that in this, in the thing I send you tomorrow?
We used to send out postcards.
Yeah, I don't know if we've got postcard.
Right. The postcards,
stock.
we had to design them and pay to have them printed.
Yeah.
It's a little easier to do the flyer because we can email it as
Right. The postage is getting more expensive.
Yeah, we were still going to do a mailing to the historic district members and to both Unionville and Farmington historic district members. But if we could do it so it's a flyer, it's all inclusive.
Yeah.
That would be great. And I think it would be appropriate to say that, Sanford Hawley is discussing materials and a bit of their history, and, to whatever extent that is. I don't think anybody's gonna, critique it with, that in depth. If we don't get a detailed history, I think that would be fine.
Yeah, so Matt, I'll just make up something general based on what you just said, and I'll make it sound good. So, and then, all right, good. Great. Well,
Great.
great. We've got our roster.
That's perfect.
Anything else about the educational meetings? I think we're in great shape. Good work,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's great. And then I'll let Farmington Historic District know they've got a meeting in a week and a half on the 16th.
Okay.
So I'll let them know.
Do we have a way of notifying homeowners in homes that would qualify for the district but are not in?
So
We have a list.
we do. So there is a list. So the focus for we'll take a look at the list. We'll make sure we get to all the homeowners that are in the district. And then I think I've got a couple of lists. I think the last one actually Bob put together, so I can distribute that. Folks can take a look and see if there's additions or subtractions, as the case may be, and then we can add those in.
Because we may get people who have an interest, even though they're not in the district, and then they go to a district meeting. Who knows? We're nice. We're friendly.
We are nice and friendly.
Okay. I have the cultivation list. I think I really took what Bob did and we were using that in the last go around. So, and I've got contact information on that, Shannon, so I can pull that up.
Okay, perfect.
All right. And what about, can we send it out on Everbridge or put it in Rose
Yes.
Ponte's economic development? I'd be glad to connect with her.
Yep. Nope. That's fine. I can get it in Rose's. I see Rose almost daily, so that's fine. Once I get the flyer, then we can get it to Everbridge. We can get it on Rose's Explore Farmington page, as well as her email blast. So yeah, and I can have the ladies at in the town manager's office assist as well, so that we've got some flexibility. And broader list to share it to. The other thing I found out is we've got one of our Zoom licenses goes up to 500 people, which I realize that would be a great problem to have, but our regular Zoom licenses are at 100. So, depending if there's not a conflict with another meeting that evening, then I can coordinate to get the license that's got 500 participant.
That would be interesting.
If you
never know.
let me know if you run into an issue, because we've got 2 of the 500s on the school account as well. So
Okay, I am gonna run away real quick. I just got a notice, like my battery's about to die,
Yes.
which I did not realize. I will be right back.
Okay. That's pretty critical. All right. That's pretty critical. Well, while Shannon is running to get whatever it is she's getting, you all have a copy of the guidelines that Shannon set out with a meeting announcement.
Yep.
Yes.
How many
You
of
put me
you?
right to sleep, I'll tell you.
Those of you on the commission, who among you have not done a revision of these while you've been on the commission? So Barbara.
I haven't. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure that I have.
Yeah, I don't think you have, Ann. All right. Okay. Just a question.
What about Howard?
Howard, have you been part of a revision of the guidelines before?
I have, yes.
You have, yeah. You've been on, yeah. You're getting to be one of the oldies and but goodies.
It's been around a while.
That's right. Okay. So the last time we do these revisions for a couple of reasons. One is to make the most important reason is to make sure that they're up to date because things don't change dramatically, but there have been some subtle changes over the years. The other reason is to get us as commissioners to sit down and really read the guidelines carefully and in detail, because when we do that, it tends to stick with us. So when we need to use the guidelines, we're just more facile with it. It comes to us easier. It's good to discuss them as a commission as well. So this revision period really does two things for us. The last time we did this, we broke the guidelines up into sections and people took sections. That
Right.
seemed to work really well. Those of you who have been part of a revision before, is that the way you think we ought to continue?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it worked
I
well.
agree.
Okay,
I think
okay.
it'd be easier that way.
And it allowed you to concentrate on one particular area or two or whatever it was.
Yes, agreed, agreed. All right, well, I'm just going to suggest that Matt take the last two sections, and that would be technology and public spaces, because nobody else really understands the technology stuff as well as Matt. So if that's okay with you, Matt.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Are there any sections that any of you are particularly interested in that you'd like to take on?
I'd like to do the lighting.
Okay.
Under other important considerations.
Yeah. Okay.
Signs.
Okay. All righty.
And I could do fences too. Get those three out of the way.
Great. Thanks, Bob. How about the rest of you? Anything any burning desires here for?
Yeah, Shannon, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
I'll do the three that come up above.
The
whatever.
roofs, chimneys.
Roofs, chimneys, and outbuildings. Yeah.
Okay,
Outbuildings.
great. All
And
right.
I'll do doors, windows, and porches.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I did that last time. That was good.
That really floated your bubble, huh?
I didn't want it again.
Okay,
Oh, I see.
can I get a bid for masonry walls, sandblasting, and trim and other decorative features? Going.
Sure. Sure. I
that
don't know how
Howard?
much I should bid, but I'll do it.
Okay,
Tell me which ones again?
that would be masonry walls, sandblasting, and trim and decorative features.
Okay.
Anne, are you up for a section, or would you rather pass it? You want to share something with me?
I'm not, I can take one. Just to give it a try. I'm not real, I've got a lot of things going on right now, so that's the only thing. I can't spend a lot of time on it, but if you want to give me one, I'd be happy to do it.
You know what, Anne, why don't you and I take care of the top three: foundations, frame walls, and low maintenance siding.
Okay,
And we can just kind of figure that out together.
that'd be great. Thank you. I
Wonderful.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. Good. All right. We did it. Let's see. Is it too short a time to say well, we can't talk about this in March, can we? We have our educational program.
Right.
Or April.
Or April. So, okay, you've got an extension. May it is.
All right, May.
Okay.
We may.
And we're working off the guidelines that are dated July 7th, 2016, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and you remember that the National Park Service guidelines, well, that's all in there. You'll want to check those.
Mhm.
I think it might be fun to Google some of these things relative to preservation and see what's going on in the wider world with some of these topics, just so we could stay grounded with a wider context. For example, I mean, low maintenance siding used to be such a hot button, almost political issue. Is it any longer? I don't hear much about it. What I hear about are solar panels. So it might be interesting to just kind of Google some of these that you think are really current and see what's going on out there, just for us to talk about.
I thought we used to include appropriate websites for each category, but I don't
We
see-
did, Sherry, but
I don't
we
see
had
any
to,
on here.
yeah, so it's here because when we did this back in 2016, the MPS had changed their website
Right.
and it really didn't, it wasn't working well to have a link for each section. And so
Oh.
the links are here up in the front end. So
Oh,
I can take a look at those, make sure those are still the correct links and whatnot.
oh, okay.
Is
So
it-
that's, yeah, so that
Just
happened
swap
with the
out the files.
2016
Oh,
edition
okay.
because
Well,
they
I guess I forgot
changed.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
they-
page 12, there's the appendix, and there's a website there, MPS.
It ended up kind of being a cleaner way to do it also.
Oh, yes, I see.
Oh,
so-
Mhm.
But at least, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, great. Well, May it is.
all right.
Wonderful. All
okay.
right. So the expansion update, Shannon, maybe I'll let you talk about the time frame. I've actually done the revision with the Cardillo building and with Todd and Jack's building. And
Oh, great.
Anne very kindly went through the Ripley house and found a couple errors, and so I was able to correct those thanks to Anne.
Oh,
I'm just
Great.
waiting for Cardillo's to get back to me to say their section is okay.
Okay.
and I
Great.
think-
So,
Is the 30 days up soon for them?
no, so we're okay because it's actually, it's a 65 day.
Or 65, okay.
Yeah, all the chunks really are 65-day chunks. So we're fine.
Okay,
So we've got the time for that revision and because we'll be getting, if it was 30 or 35 days, we'd be getting close because it was the first meeting in January. So we're a month out at this point. So yeah, as soon as it's ready, you can get it to me. I'll do a second set of eyes, read through, and then get it distributed to Paula Ray and to town council so that it starts to get on their radar, and then Paula can do the balloting that's required for the 3 properties that are in addition to the district. And I did get a response. I think I had CC'd you, Lisa. I got a response from John Barry.
yes.
So he acknowledged receiving the information. He acknowledged, he understood, and he's excited to move forward with having his home entered into the district.
Good.
So it was an email response, and that was fine. That's all I wanted. So I was glad that, we had that communication. So that was great.
Great. Good.
So we'll be able to move ahead, and like I said, we'll proceed with the balloting. Once the final document's ready, we'll get it to Paula Ray.
Great. That's wonderful. Good. So I think we're in great shape. That's moving along. I will let you know that this is not relative to this study report, but a resident of Unionville got in touch with Shannon with the planning office, and then she got in touch with me, and she's interested in listing her house in the historic district. It's Dawn DeBach's house at 15 Keene Place in Unionville, which is across the bridge, I call it. It's a lovely big colonial revival shingle style farmhouse. Definitely the oldest house in that area of Unionville. So I told Dawn that she would like to have it listed. She doesn't want to wait 2 years. So I wanted to check in with you commissioners and see if you would be willing to ramp up our usual every other year and start to do some cultivation of new property owners in the summer. Meanwhile, I'll be working on the research for her house. There isn't a historical resource survey for it. So there's going to be a lot of kind of extra research involved in this one. But here's somebody who really wants her house in the district. And I told her I needed to just get kind of the final okay from the total commission, but I'm willing to go ahead and ramp up our usual time frame. What do y'all think?
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Hey,
not?
they're hot to trot. Let's go.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's right.
Lisa,
Yeah.
what is her name?
Her name is Dawn DeBach. And so Keene Place is you go over the bridge and you climb the hill, and it's on the left. That's very vague, I know, but it's a very modest street. Her house is definitely the oldest. There are 3 maybe early 20th century houses there. Hers was built, I think, early 20th century. But then you go into a circular road that goes all the way around, and there are like 1950s, 60s ranch houses in there. So it's a really interesting mix. It looks to me like the property all belonged to Dawn's house, and at one point it was
Probably.
sold off in sections. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is her husband Frederick?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sherry,
Yes.
Frederick was on UVIA with us
Right.
a while ago.
Oh, that's why that name is
Yes.
vaguely familiar. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Dawn is on her own now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was delighted to hear from her. Okay, good. Well, then, we can go back in May. We could go back to our list of properties we were trying to encourage to join the district. You can, in the meantime, think of others. I know we have conversations here and there, and then get to kind of connecting with people over the summer in earnest. I think that's going to be about when we're all going to be able to get out and see people. So that might be a welcome task at that point. Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right.
Well, if we time it the same, then we can maybe say September is could see who we get, and then use September, October, November to finalize any reporting, and then get it to SHPO in December would be almost the same time frame that we're looking
Yeah.
this year. Just a smidge behind, but it would work well.
That's great. That worked out well for you, Shannon, to kind of manage the maneuver.
It was fine. Yeah,
Right.
it was.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Is there a certain number we need to do this first? I mean, we can
No.
just do it one, right?
No.
You can. It's just if we're going to go through the effort, because there's a lot of steps and tracking with this. So by the time you do one, I mean, obviously the report writing is unique for each one. So that's the more you add, there's the more report writing. But the rest of the process and tracking it and making sure that all the milestones are getting hit, whether we do it for one property or 10 properties, it's tracking the report.
same.
It gets
Yeah.
tracked together as a unit then. So the rest of that really is it's the same effort as we go through. So
I know that there are some property owners who, and it may be partly because of COVID and how that all played out, but there were the 2 property owners on Cottage Street that we never really totally got a final answer from. And I think there are probably some others, but we can kind of dive into that in May with the lists we already have. We're still working with that great list Bob did several years ago. So,
okay. Well, we can use the educational meetings too to make an announcement too, so folks know, and we'll want to make sure that Dawn gets an invite.
yes.
That would be
Good
me.
idea.
I need to make sure Dawn gets an invite. I got to add that to my list.
Great. All right, under other business, I also wanted to let you know about, we as a commission get notices of demolition permit applications.
Mhm.
So one just came through the other day. It's a demolition permit application for 784 Farmington Avenue in Farmington, Connecticut. It's being, the back portion of the building is being taken off and the building is being moved. But I wanted to let you know that it's the, where the Elm Tree Inn is on Farmington Avenue. Well, it's the big white building that is kind of next to it. It's horizontal to it. There used to be a dog shop in there.
Green Tails.
Green Tails was there
Green
right
Tails,
before
thank
they
you.
moved to the
Okay.
middle of Farmington Ave.
I just wanted to let you know that Jay Bombara, Chair of the Farmington Historic District Commission, and Portia Corbett, past Chair of the Farmington Historical Society, worked very closely and very hard with this developer to save the building. There was initial plans to knock it down. They worked very hard to come up with other options and to save the building. So I think that's important for us as a commission, even though we're on the other side of town. When you drive by and you see this big historic building, part of it being demolished, it's important for you to know that work has been done to save it, and it's not coming down. So Shannon, do you have anything to add to that? Because you probably...
Sure, no, because the demo, it was that got kicked around in our office a little bit, because obviously the project, so this is part of the Chase Bank project. So that's at the corner of the Backage Road, and it's opposite really where like Truffles and Vivid Hue are. So it's gonna be on that opposite side of the
Oh,
street.
yeah.
You know, really the frontage Jack Kemper's offices are behind. So as part of that project, it went through ADRC and TPZ. Of course, at the time, the focus was the Chase Bank building. And there was acknowledgement at the site plan did show the relocation of the portion of the building, the most historic portions of the building that are being saved. I believe, Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's an addition that's at the back that doesn't have the same historical significance as the main portion of the building. So it's that addition is being demolished, and then the main portion of the building is being picked up, slid back, and rotated 90 degrees on the property and reset. And then the Chase Bank will be positioned more at the prominent corner of the Backage Road and Farmington Avenue. So it went through this process once, and of course, at the time, the owner of the building, and he remains owner of the property, Bob Weiner, is he didn't have full architecturals done for this, because if Chase wasn't getting approved, he, you know, obviously he wasn't moving it. So we're doing things sequentially. So they're ready now to get started with the relocation. They've got architecturals. What you're going to see is it's going to come back to TPZ and ADRC. It'll be just under new business, not a public hearing item. But to run through, just to take a look at the facade improvements that are being done. It needs a new roof, so there's new roofing going on. There's a couple of things that are taking place, but as required, because it's in the Farmington Center and Farmington Village zone, it's got to go back through so it can have the review with the Architectural and Design Review Committee. So you'll see it on those agendas as well in the next, I'd expect to see it next month. But the demo, they've got the 30-day notice that was done, and then that will start, they'll doing utility, just the usual demo things, the prep work that's got to get done before they actually get that all moving ahead.
So the building was built in 1905, and it was an automobile service garage for the Elm Tree Inn. So it's a very early building attached to early automobile culture. Which is kind of hard for us to understand right now. Cars are central to our lives, but this is a period during which, if you had a lot of money and you had an automobile, you went out and you drove around. You drove around in the country. You know, it wasn't about getting from point A to point B. It was about the luxury of driving around. And then you went to the Elm Tree Inn, parked your automobile in this building, and then spent a weekend in the lovely country town of Farmington. So it's got a great history to it that is easy to disregard because it's not super old, but it's great. Good. Thank you, Shannon, for that update.
It's the one with the side porch?
No, it doesn't have a porch. It's got a gambrel roof, and it's parallel to Farmington Avenue. Right. So was that Howard asked? Are you looking at a map?
I'm looking at a Google.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Street view.
So can you see if you look at the Elm Tree Inn, look to the right, slightly, kind of slightly behind the Elm Tree Inn, and it's perpendicular to the Elm Tree Inn. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's parking, and the way it's positioned now, there's parking in front and the building's back behind the parking.
Mm.
Okay, I must be in the wrong spot to see it then.
So the address is 784 Farmington Avenue, if that helps.
But it's now actually on Backage Road,
Right, but it still has a Farmington Ave.
Farmington address.
Oh,
address.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not right on Farmington Avenue.
No, it's
Okay.
not. That's right. Yeah. That's a little deceptive.
It's kind of in the parking lot. Which
Yes.
So
It's
Chuck's
surrounded.
used to be there, and it was one of the buildings over there. Okay.
Here,
Oh
Shannon's
my
been
goodness, here we are.
working her magic with the GIS system. here.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that
Wow.
great? Look at that.
Every once in a while, I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Okay, so
Oh,
here
there it
the main-
is,
main
784.
intersection, 780, here's
Right,
780. This is the Elm
okay.
Tree Inn.
Right.
This is the new entrance where it's, limited access, right in, right out, Bank of America over
Uh-huh.
here. Here's the green, right, the town green.
Yeah.
There's 784.
Mhm.
So it's
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's this portion of the building that's
Mhm.
running, as Lisa said, parallel to Farmington Avenue that is going to be retained. So it's this back portion will be demoed back here. This portion is going to be retained. So really what we're looking for from a TPZ and ADRC standpoint is how are you treating this base of the building? These are all being, the building needs a little bit of a facelift. It needs a little TLC that's going to have new windows, new doors. So we're going to make sure, check those materials, obviously. But they're going to pick this up and rotate it. So this long axis of this building is now going to be here. And the long axis of the building is going to be here. There's an entrance drive that'll be in this vicinity. The Chase Bank will be here. You'll come in, drive behind the Chase Bank, enter the parking lot, and there's parking here at the back of Chase Bank, and the parking, and then you'll exit here. So there's an entrance and an exit with the parking here in between. So the buildings are really going to be the prominent features, and the parking behind then. For that.
Now I understand why every week, at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, I'm getting this great offer from Chase Bank to open an account. And I'm saying they don't even have a bank here. So now I know.
Right now, you
Yeah.
will. There will be
Yeah.
one.
I've been meaning to drive through there and see all the changes that have happened, and I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, so
Sure.
now I will.
Isn't that a nursery school in there or something?
In this building right
Yeah,
now,
no.
I don't believe there's anything in this building. Like I said, the dog tails had been in there, a couple of different small shops. There might, they're getting ready to demo. So any of the small shops that had been in there would be vacated, I believe, at this point.
Right.
Colonial Travel used to be in there. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And these are the new condos here, right? It
Right.
used to be Chuck's Steakhouse,
Right.
Yeah.
Jack Kemper's office back here. So
Yeah.
Hey,
That's good.
Shannon,
among others.
and do you know, is there going to be a net gain or net loss of parking spaces, or about the same, or the same?
I don't remember offhand. I think there's a net loss, but it's meeting the zoning regulations for the use, because he's lost so much area that this was 2-story uses up here with office and retail and all sorts of different commercial and retail uses.
Mhm.
So the net need for parking, once it's done, he's going to use it as his own office space. So really just, 2 employees, and the bank demand is quite low. So,
Gotcha. Makes
so
sense.
it's zoning, there's a net loss, but it's zoning compliant for the proposed uses and layout.
Great. Good.
Okay,
Thanks, Shannon.
you're welcome.
Great. All right, I think, Sherry, you had something to bring before us, right?
Yeah, I have a question for you all. Last week, Alan Perry, maybe some of you know him, circulated his concern via email to a wide group of people, including town officials, regarding the historical inaccuracies that he noticed in the sign that the Farmington Public Schools put up by the depot. Maybe we have a picture of it.
Yeah, Shannon, can you, oh, geez, sorry, one of my kids. Shannon, can you let me share my screen?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can certainly do that.
I've only done this once before, so if you lose me, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. So I'm gonna make you a co-host.
Okay,
And now you should get a box at the bottom that says you can share your screen, and that should just overtake what I've got here.
okay. Yes, all right, here we go. There, can you see that?
No,
Well,
Well,
now we
there it
can.
Now I see it.
but it's
Oh,
just,
good.
it is this. I thought it was
Yeah.
a banner. It's not.
Okay, so this is the sign that Alan Perry has brought to our attention. Because of the historical inaccuracies in it, mainly that it's by the Unionville depot, it has nothing to do with Farmington. And so he assumes that this was an honest error by the Farmington Public Schools and that they would want to correct it. So he is going to be maybe he already has, contacting them, requesting a corrected sign be put up. And so he asks that we, the commission, maybe consider also requesting a corrected sign. So what do you
And
think?
that corrected
wanna do?
sign would say what?
It would say
Unionville at the
Unionville
depot?
Depot,
Okay,
with offices, something about offices for Farmington Continuing Education and Farmington Recreation.
okay.
So basically what he really needs is just change the Farmington to Unionville.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's misleading, you know,
Yeah,
it's not the Farmington Depot, it never was.
Well,
The
and it's
Farmington
not
Depot.
saying it's Farmington Depot.
No,
It says Farmington
right.
at the
At the
depot.
depot,
It
right.
doesn't
Right.
say
In other
Farmington
words,
Depot. It says
Farm-
Farmington at the depot.
Farmington Education at the depot is what I think it's trying to say, not that that
That's
is
what I argued
Farmington.
with him on. He couldn't get through his head. He figures it's just Farmington's Depot, which
Yeah,
would be
not what
on
it's-
New Britain Avenue.
I'm pretty sure this got, because underneath it says Unionville, Connecticut, established 1834. So it's got the Unionville. Well, he's
Where does
welcome
it-
to have
does
that
it say?
conversation with the school
Oh,
board.
way down below, yeah.
On the bottom.
Yeah, it says so that's the Unionville, Connecticut,
So-
but the intent that it's
Oh.
a Farmington, because all of our, like, it's Farmington Town Hall, it's Farmington School District, it's a Farmington Continuing Education. I'm
I think
fairly
Matt's
certain
trying to say
that's
something. Go ahead,
convention
Matt.
about.
I don't know if he's gone back, but I know that this sign went through ADRC.
Oh, yeah,
And
it
I
did.
know there was a lot of back and forth over what was on the sign, and there was insistence that it did have the Unionville, because there was a sign there before that had Unionville, Connecticut, established 1834 prior to this sign going in. And I haven't checked myself, but I would say that that's a good place to start, as well as the minutes of the ADRC, because I think there was conversation about how it read, and because it was Farmington Public Schools, it was worded this way for a particular reason. Again, not to be misleading, but again, to identify it as the Farmington Town Services at the Unionville Depot. And for some reason, the Unionville portion was dropped during the process.
Could be size.
It's size, right?
Space,
Because
yeah.
size and, right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
but there was significant conversation that went into this sign prior to it being put in.
Yep, I agree. And I wasn't,
Actually-
Bill Warner, this goes back to Bill Warner being here. So it's, and when this first, the depot work was done in what, 2016 or 17, I think.
No, it wasn't that late. I think it was earlier. But at any rate, I don't think it went through ADRC. I'm not blaming the system. They went through the process. There was a process to get approval for this.
Right.
And they
No,
went through the
right.
process.
But it did go through, it went through
Absolutely.
a
Went through the
process.
I think so the question here is, what Mr. Perry is saying is that, mistakes been made, can it be corrected? And he's asked the commission to be a part of that. I don't even know, what we don't have an official role. That's why.
Except in preserving history in Unionville as accurately as we can.
True. We are about buildings. So
It's the Farmington school system at the depot.
Right, that's what I said. And
It's
it
not
reads
the
like that.
Farmington Depot. So it's
But it
misleading.
does come across, as, the first time I went past it, I was like, what? Because it says the Farmington is big, the Unionville is small, and I think it was added later. So I understand why, because people don't stop and say, oh, it says Farmington at the depot, and so I think it is a little bit misleading. I would say that, but that's as far as I'm willing to go as far as dealing with Mr. Perry.
I'm sorry that I really can't hear Ann at all.
Oh, you can't hear Ann? Oh.
No, it's garbled for me.
Yeah, it's not as clear.
I think that's Ann's speaker, not ours, unfortunately.
Might be. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have no idea what she just said. So
let me see if I can summarize. I think, Ann, correct me if I'm summarizing what you just said incorrectly, but what you just said is that it's unfortunate because most people see the words Farmington Depot, they don't look closely at the. And so it does read Farmington Depot. And you were just stating that it's unfortunate. So I guess my question to you as a commission is this something, would you like to take some action on this? We don't have an official role here, even as an advisor. However, as Sherry says, we are a custodian of a certain aspect of history. This kind of tests the boundaries of what we deal with. I can't see everybody's faces.
If they could rework,
Whoops, sorry.
I guess the font size, the print size, and go back and actually make it Farmington at the Unionville Depot, would make it more accurate. But most people do think of Unionville as Farmington. I mean, we're part of Farmington.
Right.
Well, if you did something like Unionville Depot, and then underneath it,
Right.
Increase the size of some of the print on. I see Farmington Public Schools, and I can't really read what the first one says with the little tree.
The recreation. It's Farmington
I
Recreation.
mean, yeah.
That's the rec department one.
Right.
And then the third one is with
The Excel
markers.
program.
Right.
Okay. So it's mostly education plus the recreation department. So if they kind of took Farmington, I mean, they didn't have to name it that, So if they put Unionville at the top and then those things underneath, as I say, larger, you know, it's Unionville Depot, it's Farmington.
I think we're splitting hairs here.
I agree.
Office.
I think it's a waste
Well,
of our time.
To some extent it is, but on the other hand, I understand it doesn't look good driving by.
So there are other ways for Mr. Perry to address this and correct this. We may not be the group to attend to this. Sherry's bringing it to your attention because it was, his email was addressed to a couple of people and more than a couple, several people on the commission.
Mhm.
So am I hearing a consensus that the commission shouldn't really take a role in this? Or how many of you feel that the commission should not take a role in making this change?
Bob Hoffman says not to worry about it. Leave it for
So
somebody else.
Howard says leave it, Bob says leave it. I can't see everybody on my screen, unfortunately, so can you just speak up?
Matt, this is Matt. I have to abstain as an employee of the school district in this
Yeah.
case. So
Understandable.
Lucky guy.
Well, I don't know. I'm an employee of the school district and I don't see anything wrong with it, so.
Okay. Okay, Bob and Howard, okay. Anybody else feel we should just step away from this? Mr. Perry does have other means through which to advocate for change here. So we're not the only stop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately true.
It doesn't affect the building or the actual facility itself.
No.
I don't think so.
So anybody else feel, is there anybody who feels strongly that we should be a part of this effort to make this change?
Well, to be honest, I was hoping we would, but I can contact the Farmington Public Schools as an individual if I want to.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anne, how about you?
I'm kind of sitting in the middle here. I think he's going to come after the museum anyway, so to do something, and we're going to have to deal with that there. So,
Okay.
you know, maybe I don't know what direction it's going to go in because he doesn't usually leave things alone once he gets started with them. So, you know, it may be something that kind of circles back to this group as well in the end. So.
Okay. So I'm hearing.
I'm not with leaving it alone for now.
Okay, so Anne, Sheriff, you didn't hear that. Anne says she feels we should leave it alone for now. So,
Okay.
so I hear a consensus that the commission has talked about this. We see how it might be confusing for people, but we don't feel it's really our role to be a part of this solution. All right, so I will let Mr. Perry know that, and we'll go forward from there. See the interesting things that come to us? Don't look downtrodden. Come on, this is good.
Well, we got the Unionville Museum. It's the only museum in Farmington. And they do show Farmington information in there, even though it's a Unionville museum.
Yeah.
So where are we splitting hairs here too, you know?
Yeah, splitting hairs. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Okay. All right, to be continued in another form later.
Amen.
All right, thanks everybody.
Okay.
All right, anybody else have anything else to bring in front of the commission at this time? No? Okay. Oops, I guess I can stop sharing. Sorry. I have to look at that.
Either way is fine.
Okay,
Oh, there we are.
there we are.
Everybody.
We're all here.
We're all back. All right, well then that concludes our meeting for this evening. Our next meeting in early March, is that March 4th, will be our education meeting about air conditioning.
Mhm.
So you'll be getting information about that. And sounds great.
Okay,
All
think
right.
we're in good
warm.
shape. Thank you, everyone.
Stay warm.
Good. All
everybody.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
take care.
It's been
Bye-bye.
fun.